Okay, method 1 is going to be the grid method. You will be used to using the grid method for long multiplication. So if you draw yourself a grid, if you take the first bracket and write it along the top, you take the second bracket and write it along the side. Now this is just a multiplication grid. So a times a will give you a squared. A times 2 gives you 2a. A times 3 will give you 3a. And 3 times 2 will give you 6. Now you have to bring in a further skill now by collecting like terms. So, as you should be able to see, that these are like terms. This is not a like term because it is a squared. This is a like term and this is a like term because they have a single a in both. So, how many a squares do we have? Well, we just have 1. Cross it off. How many a's do we have? Well, we have 3 here, we have 2 here, so we have plus 5a. Cross it off, and the number left on its own is a plus 6. Okay, the second method I'm going to show you is what we call the moon method. So this will require, it's handier if you've got a different colour pen. So if we watch, we draw an arrow A to A, and each of these arrows represent a multiplication. So A times A will give me the A squared. The second one is that I'm going to go from the first one in here to the last number. Once again, each arrow represents a multiplication. So A times 3 will give me 3A. Now I'm going to go underneath. I'm going to take 2 arrows from this 2 and I'm going to put them to the other terms in the second bracket. So the 2 goes to the A, which generates a 2A, and the 2 goes to the 3. And 2 times 3 is 6. Be very careful, lots of people make the mistake of saying that is 5. It is 2 times 3. And you can see now, hopefully, this crescent shape, which is hence why it's called the moon method. Okay, your next example is going to include a negative in the first bracket. So I'm going to start with the grid method. So once again, you draw yourself a grid as you normally would. Now the first bracket does have a negative number in it. So that negative belongs to that 2. So along the top we're going to put a y, but this time instead of writing 2, we're actually going to put minus 2. And down the side, we're going to keep it as y 3. We do not need to put a plus sign in front of the 3 because that is positive. Once again, this is just a multiplication grid. Y times y is y squared. Y times minus 2 gives me minus 2y. 3 times y gives me 3y. And now 3 times minus 2. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, and it's a plus times a minus, which gives me a minus 6. We once again collect like terms. So we've got 1y squared, we've got 3y's, take away 2y's, will leave me with just 1y. Now remember, you do not need to put the 1 in front of that y. And then the number at the end now is negative 6. And here's the same example using the moon method, including that negative in that first bracket. So we take the first term in the first bracket and we're going to draw arrows to both those terms in the second bracket. Remember, each arrow represents a multiplication. So y times y gives me y squared. Y times 3 gives me 3y. We're then going to take the -2 and we're going to draw arrows from the -2 to both the terms in the second bracket. -2 times y will give me the -2y, and the -2 times 3 gives me -6. Now, your final step using this moon method is to collect like terms, and you should be able to see that these are like terms. That is not a like term because that's a y squared. So we've got y squared. Well, I've got positive 3y, take away 2y, leaves me with that 1y, and I've got the -6 after it.